In fact, you shouldn't.
I know, don't worry. I was up all night reading Debrett's Peerage. I'm well versed in your lordly ways, and I'm ready to meet the queen.
Verse. Verse.
I'm well versed in your lordly ways, and I'm ready to meet the queen. Senior year awaits.
Let me think. Beautiful girl, autumn in New York.
Autumn. Autumn.
Beautiful girl, autumn in New York.
In fact, it was very, very stupid. Which is why we're going to have to be much more clever when...
Clever. Clever.
Which is why we're going to have to be much more clever when...
No offense, but don't you think you're a little outmatched at squash?
Squash. Squash.
At squash? Once I get him out of the way, then I'll have a clear shot at Blair. Oh, you know it's love when you start talking like an assassin.
Assassin. Assassin.
Oh, you know it's love when you start talking like an assassin.
Well done, Dorota. I like what I'm seeing. Now make the library the Sky Terrace, the Ranunculus Dahlias, the...
Terrace. Terrace.
Now make the library the Sky Terrace, the Ranunculus Dahlias, the...
I have to present myself as a crown jewel, surrounded by other, smaller, slightly flawed gems, but quality stones nonetheless.
Gem. Gem.
Slightly flawed gems, but quality stones nonetheless.
You don't have to do this.
Yes, I do. Marcus dated the descendant of Princess Grace.
Descendant. Descendant.
Marcus dated the descendant of Princess Grace. His consort needs to be able to host royal dinners and hobnob with oligarchs and dictators.
Well, if you can't find common ground with a dictator,
Dictator. Dictator.
Well, if you can't find common ground with a dictator,
You think it'd be too weird if he came?
No, not necessarily.
Good, you'll call him.
Wait, so does this mean you actually think Dan has a redeeming quality?
Redeem. Redeem.
Wait, so does this mean you actually think Dan has a redeeming quality?
Actually in the middle of something. Oh, do you have a girl here? I mean, what about your devotion to Blair?
Devotion. Devotion.
I mean, what about your devotion to Blair?
Yeah, it's actually why I called. Your knowledge of Premier.
Premier. Premier.
Knowledge of Premier. Yeah, it's actually why I called. Your knowledge of Premier League football is integral to one of her schemes.
Integral. Integral.
Premier League football is integral to one of her schemes.
Pointers on how to do more with less.
I'd love to see that.
The Salvation Army's having a bag sale on Saturday, and Ruby...
Salvation. Salvation.
The Salvation Army's having a bag sale on Saturday, and Ruby knows this place in the village that has 2-for-1 taco night.
Stop it.
It's lesbian Mexican.
Lesbian. Lesbian.
Lesbian Mexican.
Because nothing will change the fact that despite your best efforts, which are completely transparent, by the way,
Transparent. Transparent.
completely transparent, by the way, she made Waldorf rhyme with Spears. I may as well have gone commando and held my party at Nyla's Burger Basket.
Burger. Burger.
Held my party at Nyla's Burger Basket.
This scandal will destroy her. Can you imagine her watching her house seized, her grandmother's jewels up for auction?
I told you.
Jewel. Jewel.
Seized, her grandmother's jewels up for auction?
I told you.
But now that I've seen you rolling around on the floor with my adolescent ex, I understand you have a compassionate side too.
compassionate, compassionate,
Adolescent ex, I understand you have a compassionate side too.
She asked you to make her a dress?
I know, right? I already did some sketches on the train.
sketch, sketch,
I did some sketches on the train.
Both be written out.
Well, what about you, Dad? You were the one on the Great American Road Trip. Any stories worthy of your memoir?
memoir, memoir,
Yeah, stories worthy of your memoir?